Okay, so here we are. We are starting the second half of the unit of work, and as I explained, we're looking at types of businesses now. So we're going to start off looking at the easiest types of businesses to set up, which are sole proprietors and partnerships. Okay, so hopefully by the end of this and the lesson, we will be able to understand what a sole proprietor and a partnership is, compare their ownership, and evaluate the appropriate form of ownership. So, start off nice and easy with a sole proprietor. These are people who own their own businesses and run it themselves. It's as simple as that. There are many forms of these businesses because they're so easy to set up. If you are saying when you want to leave school you want to set up your own business, you will set up as a sole proprietor. There are no legal implications, there's nothing else to worry about. You can just start selling from your back bedroom, or you can start selling in a shop, or you can do whatever you want. You and the business are one. So, what does that mean then? Well, the owner will use their own money to set it up, and we call this capital. Whenever we refer to capital, we mean the money that was used to set the business up specifically. Okay? And of course, because it's their money, they are in complete control of the business. The owners can keep all of the profits made because it's their business. They've put the money in, they've put the time in, so they keep all the rewards that come as a result of that. And they don't need to publish their accounts. Everything they do can be kept private. Apart from the government, who needs to know how much tax to charge you, nobody needs to know your financial situation. Of course, like everything, there are disadvantages. Because you're working on your own, you'll have to work long hours. You may not have all of the skills to run a successful business. Yes, you might know how to do one thing, decorate cakes, decorate rooms, build boats, but you might not know how to deal with all the money side of it, or the promotion side of it, or even to hire and fire staff. And because you're a small business, you'll also find it hard to find more capital to invest in the business. Banks will be reluctant to lend to small businesses, and trying to find someone to come in as some sort of investor is also quite hard. Think of how hard they have it on places like Dragon's Den. So, rather than be a sole trader, you could become a partnership. Okay? Now, a partnership, by definition, is between 2 and 20 owners. Okay, I know we would probably see a partnership as just 2 people, but the legal definition is that it is 2 to 20 owners of the business. Again, they're easy to set up like a sole trader, that's why they're grouped together. The only difference being, because you have more than one owner, they have to draw up a legal document that explains what goes on in the business, and this is called a deed of partnership. So, the deed of partnership, as I said, is a legal document, and in that document it will explain who does what, how much money they've invested into the business, and how the profits and losses of the business are shared out at the end of the year. So, if we go with advantages, partnerships have access to more capital because there are 2 owners. You set up as a sole proprietor, you've only got £10,000, that's all you've got. You set up as a partnership, you've got your 10,000 and possibly somebody else's 10,000. So you've got more money if that's an issue. It means that the partners can start to specialise in something. Now, we talked about specialisation in terms of our interdependence. The same applies here. If we've got 2, 3, 4 partners, one can specialise in selling, one can specialise in marketing, one can specialise in accounting, and that means that the business is going to run more efficiently. They can cover for each other if they're ill, which you can't do as a sole trader, you just have to shut your business. And like sole proprietors, they can keep their finances private. Again, banks may want to know what's going on, and the government want to know for tax reasons, but nobody else has to know what these businesses' finances are like. Like the sole traders, though, there are disadvantages. Those disadvantages are that disagreements can happen. There's now more than one person. You have to agree that you want to enter a new market, or agree that you need a new product, or agree over who you're going to hire and fire. It's going to cause a lot more time for decisions to be made and potential for disagreements to happen. And even though you've got or more partners, they're still trouble trying to get additional capital. Again, like a sole proprietor, banks don't like to lend to small businesses, whether it's one owner, two owners, three owners. So yes, there'll be slightly more capital, but you may struggle to find any other external sources of finance. Now, the concept behind these two businesses is that of unlimited liability. And I hate to say it, folks, but in every exam paper, they will examine that you know what unlimited liability is. So, unlimited liability applies to sole proprietors and partnerships. It means the business and the owners are treated as the same in the eyes of the law. So the business is the owner is the business. Now, for most of the time, that's not an issue. However, the key thing with unlimited liability is if the business goes bankrupt, so there's no money left, then the business is sold and all of its assets, its premises, its stock and everything is sold to pay off its debts. Now, here's the key thing. If there is not enough money to pay all of those debts from selling the business's assets, then the owners can lose their personal possessions. So after selling all the business, if they still have debts to pay, they may have to sell their house, their car, they will have to use their personal funds from their own personal bank accounts to pay off all the business debts. And that is what the big difference is between sole traders and partnerships and other types of businesses. We'll look at the other types of businesses next time round, but here they are easy to set up, they are easy to run, and they are easy for you to specialise in different areas. But the big disadvantage is that you can lose your house and personal possessions if there is a problem with this business. Okay, another short one today because we don't need to look at the other businesses until next week. So, as before, you need to make sure that you've made notes on this, go back and watch different bits, or turn the me off if you had enough of me, turn the volume down. Make sure you write down any questions you may have, and I will upload the unlimited liability quiz to Zondel as soon as I've put this on to Facebook. And I will see you next week.